Hello, Hashwag21 here, and I am playing some Minecraft, and I'm going into my world. So, I realized that some of you may not know what a torch does, redstone torch. There is a real item called torch, and it's just meant for lighting. It is much more powerful than the redstone torch. It gives a lighting level of, you see here, if you press F3, then you can see, where is it, light. So here, and here, and here, that's your light level. So it gives a light level of 15. And here it is 7. So the light is the same in the sky, but it's actually like different. So mobs can spawn like here, but now they can't. Just a bit different. So I'm just gonna clean up my inventory a little bit. So really, some people like to keep their inventory always the same, but I find that's a little bit silly, because if you're gonna make a build using a lot of redstone torches, but typically you don't have redstone torches on your hotbar, then that doesn't make any sense. So it's powered. So redstone torches, they are powered here. They power this block. They do not power here. They do not power here. But if you place a block here, so that was a bit of an interesting thing. So that's a torch burnout. So after 30 seconds or so, or if something updates them, then it will go back to being powered. So this is using a new feature that I've new feature to redstone that we haven't seen before. You see, it's normal. It's all around. But should you turn that block off, the redstone torches turn off. On, but this, you see this powered, false. That means, so what you can do here is make sort of like a switch circuit. So say you only want it here or here, not both. So, first, so here, I'm gonna make it so that it is, if it's on this side and this side is on, so here it's on this side, and here it's on this side. But you can't just typically do that, like here. So what? No, not that. We want the lever. I mean, typically it's on, or it's off, and it's off. So here we use an inverter. If it's powered here, which it's not. It's powered. So this is actually just powered, and both lines are powered. However, when it's off, this line is off, so it's not providing power to this block, therefore not turning this torch off, so it's on. So when it's off, this one is on. But when it's on, this one is on. This one is just normal. This one is using an inverter. So you see here, now the redstone power is powering this block and so it's powered. So it turns off. So what we're doing here is it is powering this block. So you see, like, if we have all these blocks here, you see when we, so it also like just powers here, and we're not gonna do anything special with that. See here, it's not powered off. But if we do here, this redstone is powering this block, so this is turning off. So what we're doing here is we are placing this here, but then this one has to be turned off because this block is powered. So then it stops here and powering it. So this one can turn back on, and it goes on and on. But it's so fast that it just powers off. So that is an also if you make a clock, a repeater clock, and it's really, really fast. It is, so it's only on for 1 tick, and it's off for 1 tick. And by the way, if you power this block, the repeater should be just off, but it's not. It's on for 1 tick. So that's a way to get your clock started. So now you might think this block, it'll just turn on and off, on and off, on and off, but it just burns out. It's a torch burnout. It should power back on in, I don't know, 30 seconds. And it's not exactly 30 seconds. It's a little bit more than that, or a little bit less. Depends which time. And here it still burns out. But if we powered it to 3 ticks, because the repeater can be on and off, or off. These two things should be the same, and it has to be either on or off for 3 ticks or 2 ticks or whatever, however long you set it. It can't, so it can shorten the pulse. You see, it's on and off, but it's not the same. So here, it'll just be on and off. I don't believe it'll burn out, ever, never. So what you can have here is, so you can have it be what you can do with it is make two different things. You can make it so we're gonna make it either so we're gonna have 2 redstone lamps. We're just gonna set this for 4, I believe. Yeah, for right now. Ooh, that must be, ooh, that's glitching a little bit, but whatever. But we are going to, so it's powering this. No, We're gonna want to set it, not that. So we're gonna want to do that and place a torch here, and it's gonna be the exact opposite. Oh, it's too fast for it, I believe. It's too fast for Minecraft to render. So you see, it's either this torch is on or that is on, not both. It can never be both at the same time. It might be just because it's too fast to render sometimes, but it should never be on at the same time. So for some things, you might find this really useful, like, I don't know, you're making a door, like you want a door, and typically you want it to be on, but I don't know, you're playing with a friend, and you want to sort of mess with them, and no, you'll need a slab, but you can use slab. So here, another cool feature of slabs are if you just place a block there, it won't work. It can't get through. But if you place a slab there, it will work. And now what we'll need to do is, so if we place that, it won't work. But if we place one here, we can make it so that, or we need to make it go one lower. Because we want to put that there. We will need to we'll need to power this redstone torch, but it needs to be here, so we can make it go here, like around. But to do that, we have to use a repeater because that won't connect to the wire. So then you can place our torch right there, sandstone here, and there it is. So we'll place, no. We'll need to raise it a block, I believe. So this is a simple way of doing this. Now you can see it, but that's okay, I guess. And now it's powered. Why is it powered? Oh yeah. So if we use a half block, I believe it won't get powered. No, it should be on. We want it on. Sorry. We want it on, and we want it on, I believe. Why isn't that? Yeah, it's on. Hold on. Why isn't that turning the right way? guess it just wasn't rendering correctly. Okay. Yeah, that's really quite strange why it's doing that. Ooh. That was a torch burnout. Torch burned out. So, yeah, it'll do that. So, we can do that, but, yeah. So then, if you try to, like, walk through, and what you can do is place, no, you don't need that. And if you place, okay, a stone pressure plate, it can be any type of pressure plate, but why is that not working? Ooh. Oh, so it'll just like slam in their face. But yeah, you can make it like that. Sort of. So, I mean, that won't exactly work, but it would take some fine tuning, but the last thing, the really practical use for it is so I'm gonna back up. While I'm building this, okay, so for this I will want wool. I'm gonna use red wool and white wool. So you may have heard of a system called, let me back up. So the way we use numbers, humans do, and you use base 10 system. After you get to 9, then there's like, instead of a 10 is not a single digit number, it's a 2-digit number. With binary, it's base 2. You can have either a 0 or a 1. You can't have a 2. A 2 is the next one over. So it doubles each time. It's the 1's place, the 2's place, the 4's place, the 8's place, 16's place. So I'm gonna show you. So this number is 0. A white wool equals a 0, and a red wool equals a 1. So since this is the 1's place, if we do that, 0, 1, then 0, 2's, and 1, 1. So that's a little bit confusing, but that means 0 times 2 plus 1 times 1. So then if we do this, and that is 1. So this is the 4's place. So 4 plus 0 plus 1 equals 5. So in base 10, you can have 9 or 10 possible combinations for your digit. In binary, you can only have 2 possible combinations. So this is what computers use. This is how you make a bit in Minecraft. So it's very useful because it's either a 0 or a 1. It can never be both, and it will always be one of them. So to build it is quite simple. 2 blocks here, a torch here, and a torch here. And so it doesn't matter. You can place this here, and then this one is off. So then it doesn't power this. And if you want to change it so this one side is on, just flip it on. Now this one is off. This one is on. So this is extremely useful because normally what you can do is just use a lever, but a machine can't use a lever, but it can turn on redstone. So then it remembers if it's on or off. So I'm going to show you a really useful use for this. And also, I'm not sure right now, but there are ways you could make it a little bit different. But I would say this is, I believe this is the most compact use for it. You can use that and oh, no, not that. You can do that, and that will also work, but it doesn't really matter what you want to do. This is more compact, I believe. Doesn't really matter that much, but if you were going to make something which you needed to be very compact, then you should probably use this. So you want to make a 7-segment display. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's a display type where there are 7 lights, sort of. And you've probably seen one of these. So it looks a little bit like this. So there are 7 segments, and so in like a car sometimes they use these. It's very, very simple, and it's very easy to make. And so then what you can do is you can make it in Minecraft, 7-segment display. So what that would look like is a little bit like this. Whoops. See, and it looks like an 8. But you could like replace the red wool with lamps, redstone lamps, and then you could either power it or have it non-powered. And then what you could do to remember that is use one of these, and So it would use that, and what you could then do is, you can make like an A with this segment, this segment, this segment, all those segments, but you don't want this one. You want this powered off. So then what you could do for a B is then have all segments on except these segments. Or no, that's a D. But have this segment on and this segment off. See, it's a B. Or what you could do is have like a 1 or a 2. The possibilities are very, very high. What you've also probably seen is some sort of like 9-segment display. You can also use these. Like, you can use those, and then you could make it a 9-segment display or even an 11-segment display. And if you wanted to get really, really fancy, you could even do like each one of these, even like you could make all of these blocks. They're each individual like bit, and to do that, so let's see, it would be pretty hard to get each individual one, but it would be really cool. And so 5 by, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 40 different bits, and 8 bits make a byte, and you've probably heard of like a gigabyte. There's also a gigabit. A gigabit is 5 times smaller than a gigabyte, but that would be really cool if you could make it. All these red wool would be a redstone lamp. But that's all I've got to say for now. So, goodbye.